you will very rarely find an error. First of all, because I'm very exacting. And second of all, because I hire people to fact check at my own expense. I don't want errors. I don't want errors because for me, a book is like a painting. And if you have a masterpiece and then somebody mars one corner, puts a thumbprint, it destroys the book. It destroys the painting. And I feel the same way. In my last book, the Gaza book, the last main, well, no, actually I've written several books, but the main pertinent book right now is Gaza, an inquest into its martyrdom. There is one error. It doesn't change anything, but it's still a numerical error. And I really wanted my publisher to correct it. They were unable to correct it for reasons having to do with expense. And every time I opened that book, because I had to reread it when October 7th happened, I'm always pained and anguished that error is there. It's like almost anal retentive with me at this point. You won't find the errors. I'm very confident of that. Very careful. But on the other hand, I was my political self long before I discovered Israel-Palestine. I was engaged politically from age, you would say, 15 or 16, or maybe even younger, because I came from such a politicized home. All we talked about was politics. So from a very young age, I was a political being, maybe not in the Aristotelian sense, but in the sense of engaged constantly with the issues of the day. So long before Palestine was on my radar, I was involved in the war of Vietnam, the civil rights movement, the wars in Central America. You could say I'm on the side of the oppressed. That's true. That would be true. But I never saw that as a contradiction with being on the side of truth. Because you're a young man, so you don't know the radical tradition. But it was always a hallmark of the radical tradition in its classical form that, to use the expression of Antonio Gramsci, the truth is revolutionary, which is to say, there's no contradiction between pursuing truth, pursuing justice, and being on the side of the oppressed. There wasn't a conflict there. The truth is revolutionary. So Palestine happened to have been at a point in my life in June 1982. It fell above my radar, and the only reason I stuck to it was not because I'm pro-Palestine or I have some sort of obsession or fetish with Palestine, Palestinians, Arabs, Islam. No, the conflict just didn't go away. It just went on and on and on and on. And I'm not a quitter. I'm not a fair weather friend. So I stuck to it. It had nothing to do with Palestine. That is, it's just not a part of my mental calculus.